Hey, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to continue to work on the box. We did the glue up in the last video of the bottom panel. So today I'm going to work on the sides of the box, and also I want to do something a little bit different with the joinery compared to some of the previous projects I've done. So the first thing I need to do though is figure out the math, the dimensions of what we need. Okay, I think I got everything laid out, and I marked it a little bit long. That way if we're running through the planer and there's a little bit of snipe on the ends, I can cut that off and we'll be fine. There's gonna be quite a bit of waste on this board, unfortunately. This is about 6 inches wide, which is fairly common. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it about 4. So I'm gonna have a 2-inch strip, almost the entire length of this board, but I could repurpose that. I'll make a cutting board or something out of it later on. First thing is to start cutting these down and then mill them up. I have all my material milled and cut to their length and width. So now I'm going to mark for the joinery. So what I'm doing is looking at what face I want on the outside compared to the inside, but also what orientation do I want it, this to be the top or this to be the top. So I think I've got it here. These will be the outside faces. So then I will flip it over and mark on the sides where I'm going to cut rabbets. And I always mark for the bottom of the box too. That way I know in my head where to cut the groove at for that. So then for joinery, this is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna have rabbeted joints. I'm gonna cut a rabbet in the long piece that will house the short piece. And that's perfectly fine. We could just do that. But just to kind of make things a little bit more interesting, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put dominoes in the rabbet. I've never done that before. So let's try it out and see how it goes. I could simply butt it up, but I know a lot of people would say, well, just butt it up together like that. And that's fine too. But I kind of like the look of the rabbets. I think it just kind of gives that interesting appeal whenever you look at the top of the box. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to cut the joinery for the dominoes. Put these together, make sure they fit. Then I will cut the rabbet, trim the domino a little bit to make up for that rabbet depth, and then reassemble it. What could go wrong? The domino is a complete luxury item. I will admit that, but it's so good at what it does. It's rare that you find a tool that just is a true game changer, and I feel like that's what the domino is. I did a lot of stuff with dowels really whenever I started, and I think that helped me out a lot when it came to layout and making sure things were aligned. I'm using these 5mm dominoes, and they're pretty small, but I think they're going to work out perfect for this because it's a rabbeted joint and you already have so much glue surface that it's perfectly fine. We don't even have to use anything to make it stronger, but let's spice things up a bit. I'm going to put these two boards together, and it looks like they were cut right there, but they really weren't. It just matches that well. This is my bottom face. This is the top of my box. The one thing I want to make sure is that I have enough room for the bottom panel. That way I'm not cutting into the mortise I'm going to cut with the domino. I cut all of the mortises, so I am in the process of dry assembling it to make sure that it all fits well. And I like to take my Dominos and rub them on some sandpaper, and it takes the burr off of the edge and it just makes it a little bit easier to get them in and out of the mortise whenever I'm doing dry assembly. Let's see. Everything looks pretty good. So step one of our ridiculously circuitous scheme is completed. So now we got to cut the rabbets, and to make it easier on myself, I am simply going to mark where these pieces go together because I hate doing math and I'd rather not measure it. To the table saw. All right, let's see how they fit. Nice. Tight right there. Tight on the inside. Outside looks beautiful. Very happy with that. This turned out fantastic. That is rock solid. There is no movement, there's no rocking to this, and it's gonna make it much easier to clamp up and make sure that it is square. I'm thrilled that we tried this joint out. This is the first for me, so you got to see it. Thank you for following along with this. Thank you for helping me in the shop today. And make sure that you subscribe, you like, and share this video if you know somebody who might want to try out these joints. And until we meet again, get in your shop and build something awesome. Woo!